There are certain names in the history of 1980s adult entertainment that carry a mythic kind of nostalgia, not because they were the biggest or the most publicized, but because they captured a specific moment in time, a moment defined by energy, youth, rebellion, and the bold personality of an era that felt electric. And few stars from that period embody that feeling more than Nicky Charm. To understand the legacy of Nicky Charm, you have to step back into the 1980s, an era of neon colors, VHS tapes, and a rapidly growing home video world that reshaped entertainment forever. It was a new age for adult cinema, shifting from theaters to living rooms, from film reels to videotapes, from hidden corners of cities to mainstream curiosity. And in that transition, Nicky Charm became one of the standout faces. But before the fame, before the industry, before the spotlight, she was simply a girl named Shannon, born in California on April 21st, 1966. She grew up in a state filled with opportunity and chaos in equal measure. Her early life had moments of freedom, but also instability. By her teenage years, she was already fiercely independent, the kind of young person who relied on herself long before she should have had to. In the mid-1980s, when she was barely in her late teens, Nicky Charm stepped into an industry that was exploding in popularity. The VHS boom had created a demand for new personalities, fresh faces, fresh energy, performers who felt modern, lively, and relatable. And that was exactly what audiences saw when Nicky Charm appeared on screen for the first time. She had something different, something unpolished, youthful, mischievous, a combination of charisma and vulnerability that instantly made her stand out. She wasn't trying to be glamorous or sophisticated. She wasn't trying to be the kind of statuesque star that dominated the 1970s. Nicky Charm represented the new 80s attitude, quick-witted, fearless, playful, and unfiltered. And audiences connected to that immediately. Her popularity rose quickly. Within a short time, she became one of the most recognized performers in early home video entertainment. Her name was on VHS covers across rental stores nationwide. She gave interviews, appeared in magazines, and built a fan base that felt unusually loyal. People didn't just know her for her roles. They remembered her personality, her laugh, her energy, her presence. But behind the scenes, life wasn't simple. Fame in her corner of entertainment rarely came with guidance or support. There were no managers teaching young performers about financial stability, no agents protecting them from bad contracts, no networks educating them about long-term safety. Many young actors, including Nicky Charm, navigated the industry with little protection and almost no mentorship. By the late 1980s, after an incredibly fast rise, Nicky suddenly stepped away. No farewell, no retirement tour. She simply vanished from the spotlight. And for years, fans wondered where she went, what happened, and why someone so magnetic disappeared at the height of her popularity. Her absence became part of her legend. In the early 1990s, she resurfaced briefly, older now, more mature, and carrying the weight of life experience that showed in her interviews and public appearances. She wasn't the same playful teenager who had entered the industry in the early 80s. She was a woman who had faced challenges, mistakes, and consequences far beyond what her fans imagined. Her return wasn't about reclaiming fame. It was about survival, financially, emotionally, personally. She appeared in a small number of new projects, but the industry had changed. The faces were different. The tone was different. And the wild VHS era she once ruled was fading into memory. Nicky Charm belonged to an earlier time, a time fans remembered fondly, a time many describe as the innocent chaos of the adult 80s. But her story didn't end with her second exit from the screen. In the years that followed, Nicky faced personal struggles that became public. often in ways deeply unfair and unkind. Headlines reduced her to moments of hardship rather than the decades of life behind those moments. And as the years went on, she became one of the many early video-era stars whose lives reflected just how difficult that world could be once the cameras turned off. Yet even through the challenges, the people who knew her, co-workers, directors, performers from her generation, consistently described her with warmth. They said she was funny, energetic, kind, someone who brought light into rooms even when she battled her own shadows. Someone who made her mark on an industry that rarely protected or honored the young women it promoted. Nicki Charm's legacy is complicated, but not tragic in a one-dimensional way. It is the story of a girl who became famous before she understood what fame meant. A story of someone who entered an industry with no map, no safety net, and no blueprint for the future. A story of someone who lived boldly, stumbled deeply, and kept trying to rebuild her life, despite everything working against her. Today, when fans look back at the 1980s VHS era, with its neon colors, its grainy covers, its sense of rebellious fun, Nicki Charm is always part of the conversation. She represents a moment in time that simply cannot be recreated. A moment when adult entertainment felt more youthful, more spontaneous, and more connected to the chaotic energy of the decade. Her legacy survives in that nostalgia, in the memories of fans who grew up renting tapes from video stores, in the conversations among collectors who still treasure the early days of home video, in the way she embodied the raw, playful, free-spirited personality of the era, and in the reminder that behind every iconic name was a real person, young, vulnerable, trying to figure out life the best they could. Nicki Charm's story is not just about fame. It's about the cost of fame, the weight of growing up in public, the challenges of surviving an industry that offered glamour without guidance, and the enduring fascination of a performer who captured lightning in a bottle long before she understood the storm around her. Her legacy remains one of the purest reflections of the VHS generation, bright, imperfect, unforgettable, and forever frozen in the warm glow of 1980s nostalgia. A reminder that even the briefest careers can leave the deepest footprints, and that some stars shine not because they last long, but because they burn brightly in the exact moment the world needs them. If this journey through time stirred something in you, subscribe to Retrovidia, where we keep the stories of the golden age alive, one memory at a time.